I made a school presentation about my special interest in autism, and I am diagnosed with an intellectual disability, being in the fully self-contained life skills program. Here's the presentation. I hope you enjoy. People believe level 3 autistic students are dangerous and disruptive, and it's the parents' fault for not disciplining them. I extremely disagree with this belief, and here's why. While I get where others are coming from, I just feel like it's an unfair, one-sided view. Autistic individuals with high support needs may sometimes show unsafe behavior as a way to express their needs, and this can scare others around them, but I think it's also very important to look inside their perspective too. Behavior is communication. There's always something being communicated. Yelling, hitting, throwing, pushing objects away, dropping to the floor. These are all ways some might do to communicate their needs, opinions, or simply when the environmental and social demands exceed the person's cognitive capacity, resulting in a lot of things, like shutdowns or meltdowns that might cause or look like behavior. Those who often have a significant amount of behavior are the ones who often have a communication struggle that prevents them from verbally getting their point out correctly, nonverbal or verbal, feeling misunderstood. Behavior is one of the fastest, first instinct ways to get at what they're trying to communicate, and they often have a hard time controlling this, as it's the main involuntary option. They can verbally talk though, don't they understand? Let's say this. If you got yelled at each time you blinked, how would you feel? Now yes, humans naturally blink. We can't control it. But this was a hypothetical comparison to the things autistic individuals might naturally do. It's like having an itch deep in your brain, and when you try to scratch it by moving or rocking, people tell you to stop. Even though stimming, a self-stimulatory behavior that uses repetitive movements as a way to regulate the body, giving the sensory input it needs, is the body's natural response like blinking, it is still to be often judged by others. Everybody stims in some shape or form, but with autism, it can be much more intense, and it can sometimes involve ways others might think is out of the ordinary. Some may also think an individual is having a bad behavior, like screaming for example, but in reality, if they aren't engaging with another person or upset, they may actually be vocal stimming and not trying to be disruptive. Positive reinforcement doesn't mean ignoring unsafe behavior. Positive reinforcement is not about being too easygoing or letting stuff slide. PR, positive reinforcement, is a proven and effective strategy in the ABA and special education fields. It teaches and redirects safe, appropriate behavior as a replacement from unsafe behavior. For example, if a student yells, "Get out of the way!" you can calmly reply, "Level 1 calm voices, please." When they repeat the request calmly, you acknowledge their effort and reward it with kindness. This is positive reinforcement. For students with autism, behavior isn't always about defiance. It's often about regulation and survival. People might look at someone screaming and think they're overreacting, but inside that student's mind, they are having such a hard time with the mind that is absolutely overfilled with no room left for the smallest things. Everything is overspilling, causing even more crying, even more stress on a already extremely fast heartbeat, with the clock ticking every single second, adding more and more stimulation and pain on top of the main problem. In these tough moments, the mind isn't in a teachable state, meaning it should be dealt with support and kindness, and the teachable moment is when regulated. Meltdowns shouldn't be punished, in my opinion. Unsafe behavior does not mean deserving harm. Let me be clear, I am not saying that unsafe behavior like violence is okay. It isn't. But I believe it should be still handled with respect, not neglect. What I am disagreeing with, however, is how others look at the sweetest, most misunderstood individuals, but unable to look past their disability. There are some terrible comments I have both heard and received, everything from pushing abusive institutions and all the way up to unaliving them. That is absolutely not okay to think or say to any parent. Your autism acceptance shouldn't go away in the moment an autistic person does an autistic thing. Even in manipulative moments, like tantrums, meltdowns can co-occur, for example, from feeling misunderstood and ignored. Conspiracy or truth? I can understand both sides. If somebody was to be physically touched, they have the right to feel uncomfortable and upset, but wishing harm on that person is where I feel crosses the lines. I personally agree with the truth side. Everybody des- Everybody deserves support, and most importantly, the ones who are often misunderstood with behavior, they often have a hard time controlling. Once you look past the disability, you will notice how much you are missing out, often being the nicest people you will ever meet in your life. Kaylin Partlow, who is an author to the book Life on the Bridge, who is also featured on the Netflix series Love on the Spectrum, Living Life with Autism, ADHD, Dyslexia, Dyspraxia, and more. She works as a registered behavior technician at Project Hope Foundation and an autism advocate with a massive following on social media. Now that we're coming close to the end of this slideshow, I just wanted to share one last thing. I recently came across a video by Kaylin with a very helpful and informational plot that I instantly fell attached to. I just wanted to share this last video. I hope you enjoy.
Let's get one thing straight and two things straighter about autism meltdowns.
Okay, so the first thing we need to get straight is when an autistic person has a meltdown, it means the demands or expectations of a situation exceed their current level of ability. The two things we need to get even straighter are everyone's level of ability changes day to day due to external factors, and when all of your tolerance is used up and you've tried every coping skill you know, a meltdown is an unfortunate but natural response.
What's that smell? Teacher?
Yes?
There's a really bad smell in here. Can you make it go away?
I think that's just his lunch.
Oh, it is. He's like eating a carcass. If he's gonna eat something dead, can you put him outside?
No.
Stinks! Go away! Battery. I need a battery.
We don't have your charger in here. I'm sorry. Is it dead? It's time for us to go. We gotta go anyway, but we got to go.
Time.
When someone reaches emotional crisis, they can't access the part of their brain that holds coping skills. And that's why we need to de-escalate and then collaborate. And if you like analogies, you'll love my book.